Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Darshan and I'm excited to be hosting this 37th webinar in our Godrej and Handling Knowledge series titled Innovative Construction Practices for Sustainable Warehouses. Before I move on to introduce our esteemed speakers for today, let me just revisit the core purpose of running this knowledge sharing platform that is built specifically for intralogistics domain. I would say it is a Godrej way of giving back the knowledge that we have gathered in the past 6 decades now to society and industry. I'm happy to say that the response to our platform has been overwhelmingly positive and it has been a great encouragement for us to continue this initiative. And we are at the fourth year of this series. Talking about today's topic, warehousing plays a crucial role in global supply chain ensuring the smooth flow of goods from manufacturers to retailers and consumers. However, as our world faces pressing environmental challenges, it is essential for our industries like warehousing and storage to set up their efforts in adopting sustainable practices. As we delve into this topic, innovative construction practices for sustainable warehouses, we will explore how modern pre-engineered steel building solutions and other advanced construction techniques can be employed to create sustainable warehouses. These solutions not only optimize energy efficiency but also reduce material waste, leading to environmentally responsible construction practices. Today, we have Ms. Neetu Jain, is a dedicated leader in sustainable and green technologies with over 20 years of experience. As the founder and managing director of Panache Greentech Solutions Pvt Limited, she specializes in energy efficient building solutions, including solar insulation coatings, thermal insulated screen, and waterproofing solutions. Ms. Jain's visionary approach has earned her respect and prominent positions within the Indian Green Building Council. She serves as the chairperson of the Vadodara chapter and actively leads various green initiatives, making a positive impact on the environment and society. Before I move on, I would request everyone to put in their questions in the chat box on the top right of your screen. We shall try to answer them straight away or towards the end of the session. Please do not forget to write your name in the box above and Q&A section. That will help us get back to you after the webinar in case we miss your question. We hope that by the end of this webinar, you will have a better understanding of innovative, sustainable construction practices for warehouses.
Hi everyone, welcome to this platform, and I thank Godrej team to giving me this privilege. So, as I have been introduced, that I am actually passionate to promote sustainability, and with that vision exactly, I am here to create cool green cities. Being chairperson for IGBC Baroda chapter, I'm also executive board member with them. And also I'm educator for CRRC, that is School Roof Rating Council, and we are founding members with Vault program of CRRC and Warehousing Association of India also. So I'll just take you to the journey exactly. We all are talking about the temperature rise. We all are talking about the climate action, the climate changes that are happening. So I would just like to take you to the journey, how exactly this temperature is increasing, because we all are talking how we have to reduce the impacts. So once heat is generated, how we have to reduce the impacts. But how exactly this heat is generated, I'll take you to that journey. And in this journey, my recent privilege I would like to share is that I have been very instrumental and privileged to be team member of Telangana Cool Roof Policy. And I happen to share the dice with the ministry releasing this policy. So just to contribute for the world to fight the global challenge of rising temperature, we exactly can imagine of cool buildings without AC also, and reducing the temperature indoors by 4 to 8 degrees centigrade and surface temperature by 18 to 24 degrees centigrades. But how we can do that, we'll just see. So every built structure that is exposed to sun gets heated up to 60 to 80 degrees centigrade. We all know that urbanization is happening, and because of that urbanization, a lot of construction has to be there. As we all know, we have to be very sustainable, and that is why we are exactly building a lot of warehouses. As the urbanization is happening, so the development, we cannot stop the development, and that is why many industries and many warehouses and many built structures are uh, taking place. But what exactly is the challenge presently is the excessive heat waves, and that is rising temperature and increasing urban heat island impact. But why it is happening that? So because of this, exactly AC consumption is increased and CO2 emissions are also increased. And we all see the temperature rise trend these days. And the irony is, like when we talk about the industrial sector, every 1 degree temperature rise gives dip of the factory output by 2%. And you know, must be knowing, like in these summers, the daylight work hours are reduced due to heat. And if we see in India, almost 3.1% of daylight working is reduced because of the heat. And when you are constructing the warehouses also, the metal structures that are there, you must have feel that it becomes like an oven and it's very hot. And due to the heat that is being produced and the way exactly structures are getting heated up, the building remains heated till midnight. It keep on releasing the heat, and the other impacts of heat are the health issues, the insomnia, heat distress, psychological issues of the laborers that are working, heat strokes, dehydration, and many other health impacts. And we all know that by heat exactly, it is actually costing to our GDP also. So to mitigate this challenge, so we need to know what is the cause of this heat and what is the cause of this urban heat island impacts. So this due to urbanization, the concrete jungles are made, and the structures that are made because of this industrialization are like metal structure and the concrete structure. The main issue is that the metal structure surface temperature increases by 70 to 80 degrees centigrade, and the concrete structure that are made gets heated up to 60 to 70 degrees centigrade when the atmospheric temperature is 40. So when atmospheric temperature is 40, it's not that the surface remains heated up to 40, but the temperature rises up to 70 to 80 degrees centigrade also. And when we talk about square meters of built structure are there that keeps on releasing this heat. The heat, the surface that is heated up to 70 to 80, this heat is emitted into the city air, and this actually creates the amplified heat spots into the city. It also adds to the increased surface urban heat island impacts. It actually global labor productivity is declined by 15% during the hottest summers. And there is a lot of study that says almost 21% of grains are reduced by weight during the storage conditions also due to heat. See, not happening anything, but just due to heat, the grain quantity is also reduced. And that is a very big loss to our country. Moreover, when we talk about the rents of the warehouses, so it becomes very difficult to get the proper rents also for the warehouses. So how we can actually mitigate all these things? So there are cool surfaces. Yes, there are cool surfaces that can reduce the UHI impact, and that is an innovative solution to mitigate these UHI impacts. So what the cool surfaces are? So this is to understand what cool surfaces are. This is the solar power distribution, that is the radiation that is coming from sun. So the radiation that is coming from sun is of three types. Majorly it's UV spectrum, another is the visible spectrum, and this dark green area that you can see is the infrared spectrum of the radiation that is coming from sun. And if you see, the role of this visible spectrum is to identify colors, but majorly these IR radiation, that is the maximum part of the radiation coming from sun, get absorbed by any substrate, and this radiation energy converts into heat energy. And because of this heat energy generation, the surface that is exposed to sun or anything that is exposed to sun gets heated up. So what we do is, like, what these cool surfaces are, these cool surfaces exactly are the coatings or any type of substrate that reflects these IR radiation. The radiation, this IR radiation that is responsible to generate heat, is being reflected back into the atmosphere as such, and thus, since it is not absorbed, it does not convert into heat energy, and once it is not converted into heat energy, the surface wherever this coating is applied remains cooler. So it is not heated up, and so the temperature difference that you can see between uncoated and coated surface is almost 25 degrees centigrade. And these summers we have like observed the site with the temperature difference of 28 degrees centigrades also. So the surface temperature, at the average surface temperature that we have observed, the is reduced by 20 to 28 degrees centigrade, whether it is a concrete roof, whether it is a metal roof. And whenever we talk about the indoor temperature is reduced by 4 to 8 degrees centigrade. So like when the temperature, the surface, when the surface or the building envelope doesn't get it heated up, the heat ingress is reduced. And when heat ingress is reduced, definitely the indoor temperature reducing, thus your AC conditioning requirement will be less, your like thermal comfort will be there, and many other tangible and intangible benefits will be there. So whenever we are talking about energy efficiency, when we are talking to any of the consultants or any, like we also, when we talk about energy efficiency, what we talk about is like, it may be energy efficient equipment we are talking about, either we are talking about thermal insulation, either we are talking about solar generation or landscaping. But all these things actually work to reduce the heat that is already being generated. This is the only technology. The IR reflection technology is the only technology that reduces the heat generation at the substrate. Means every build structure, if coated by the coatings that is having high solar reflectance and high thermal emittance, can be helps us to reduce the surface temperature. And when the build structure will not get heated up, the heat will not be emitted into the atmosphere also, the heat will not ingress indoors also. So it will reduce the indoor temperature, air conditioning cost, it will increase the thermal comfort, and when the heat is not emitted into the atmosphere, it will not add to the urban heat island, it will not add heat to the air also. And so the canopy of heat that is being produced because of the uncoated substrate, so that will not be there, because once the heat is generated, it will actually go into the top area, top in the sky, and it forms a sort of a like canopy, and then like it doesn't allow the GHG gases to pass on, and that actually is adding again reverse heat to the atmosphere, and that is why it is actually reducing the city temperature also. So once when we are like coating any of the built structures, and especially when we are coating any of the metal structures, the surface temperature reduces by 28 degrees centigrade. So the benefits that we get is like AC requirement is reduced, electricity cost is reduced. We are actually reducing the insulation requirement also. At times you must have seen that like we are using air bubbles, air bubbling sheet for the insulation also. So what happens is like now exactly the temperature is like of the roof is reaching almost 80 degree. So when the air bubble insulation is actually in touch with the metal sheet, so what happens is like it is plastic, so it gets a bit of burning and it start releasing the fumes, so it is impacting the indoor air quality also. And also at many places you must have like listen of fire causing because of the bubbles. So in that cases exactly if you apply this coating, you can actually mitigate the fire incidences also. Another benefit of this coating is like if you reinforce the top surface with a fabric, so you exactly stops the water leakage also from the roof. So like if you have underdeck insulation of thermocol, PU foam or any glass wool, so what happens like if water comes in, so the impact of the insulation is also reduced. So using these type of coatings, we can be actually your sustainability partners. These coating people can be your sustainability partners because they can actually increase the thermal comfort, increase labor productivity, increase solar panel efficiency also. The research study says that mass level of coating of these type of coating in the city level can reduce the city temperature also by 2 to 3 degrees centigrade. It reduces the UHI impacts, and the research study says that only 1,000 square feet of area, if coated by these coatings, can offset 1,010 metric tons of CO2 emissions annually. So these actually coatings, since it is reducing the indoor temperature also and the surface temperature, it improves the air quality also. So these cool surfaces are applied on various type of substrate. And if we talk about the build structure, it is applied on the roof and it is called cool roof coating or high SRI albedo coatings. Then it is applied on the walls also as cool wall paints. It is applied on the roads and cycle tracks also, and it is called as a cool top express also. And when we talk about the roads exactly are of bitumen and are black in gray in color. So they get heated up, and you must have seen that at times bitumens melts also. So after applying this coating, there is a different primer for the bitumen surface. And if we apply this coating, the surface temperature will be reduced and the surrounding temperature area will also be reduced. And NASA has done a research and that says that the surrounding temperature reduces by applying the coatings on the like on the roads, because the wind that will be touching this road will carry less temperature with it. So the air temperature is reduced. There are different type of, so it's very important, like whenever you exactly it now exactly if we talk about IGBC, if we talk about ECBC, if we talk about ECSC, so any norms like looking to the gravity of the usefulness of these coating is making it mandatory. But now selection of the right product and the right impact is also very important. So now exactly like yeah, building structure when it is metal, so it may be pre-coated, it may be galvanized. So like if you want to apply these coating, you can directly apply on the galvanized coating also, means pre-coated is not very important to have these coating being applied. But now selecting the product is very important. If you go with the cheap product just for the rating or something like that, so in cheap product what happens, at times lime is present. So if lime is used, so in that cases your roofs can get corroded. So you have to see that how you can prevent the life of your structures and how you can increase the life of the structures. So there are there are different type of variants for this. So one is the sustainable variants and one is the affordable variant. In affordable variants, there is one eco grade of material that comes just as a paint. It is an elastomeric paint directly applied on the roofs. So that has only economic, very economic grade of paint like a thing that is having only the SRI value. But when we talk about the sustainable surfaces, sustainable system has a different system in which a primer coat is there. That is a very strong bonding is created by this primer coat, and then elastomeric coat is there. So it makes a balance between bonding and elasticity. And then you have a transparent coat, because these coatings are majorly white in color, so it has to be protected from any dirt pickup, algae fungus generation, and it should protect from water so that further corrosion is not there. So this is a sustainable system with reduced life cycle cost, and it has increased life of almost 8 to 9 years, and the affordable one has life of almost 2 years. So it is logically also, like if you see that if you apply any plastic effect paint on any of the surface, so it can come out like a peel, and a small cut can give you blisters and peeling of the paint can be there. But when we talk about the sustainable cooling system, so the binding coat, the primer coat is having a very strong anchoring effect, and because of that exactly you cannot take this film out as a film. So it will have a very strong bonding and give you life of almost 8 to 9 years. And after 8 to 9 years also, you just have to do a maintenance coat. So you don't have to re-coat for every certification, every 3 year certification that are required, renewal of the certification. So you can have a reduced life cycle cost, and the cost difference between both the them is also not very high. So this is the way the priming anchoring coat is there, or two coat and two coats of reflective elastomeric coat is there, and one transparent coat is there that prevents the complete system. And another thing, the measure of these type of coating is the SRI value, that is solar reflective index. And that means the surface that is coated by these coating is having high solar reflectance. That means the reflectivity of the IR radiation that produces the heat is less. So more more IR radiation are reflected and less heat is generated. Another very good factor is that these coatings have high emissivity. That means these coatings will re-radiate the heat that is being absorbed by the substrate, so that the surface will get cooled down also very fast. So there are two features that are in any of the cool surfaces. One is reflectivity will be higher. So the radiation that are responsible to generate heat are reflected and do not generate heat, and thus your surface doesn't get heated up. But the amount what is heat that is being absorbed, that is also re-radiated, and the surface gets cooled down also very fast. So the building structure that was releasing heat till midnight will not produce heat anymore, and moreover it will be cooling down also fast. So it will give you a very good thermal comfort. Thermal comfort is increased by almost 50% after applying this coating. And once your labor is working under this condition, will never work in any another uncoated surface. Another area is aged SRI. So aged SRI is very important. So after 4 years also, what will be the SRI value? The best SRI is above 100. And the minimum SRI that is being prescribed by any certification body is almost 75. So having the sustainable system being used, you have SRI value after 4 years also 75, so that it will be effective till further 4 years. So that is why like it is giving life of more than 8 years also. These are certain case studies wherein like this is one of the industry where it is manufacturing pickles and food products, and this exactly they started with only and at times like in factories there is a process wherein like you have to cool down the product and then you have to pack them. That sort of process is there. So like having this complete premises energy efficient and thermally comfortable, they could reduce in their process loss, and then they completed like almost 3.8 lakh square feet of their area was covered, and like they got the temperature difference of almost 8 degree, because like they had actually installed HVLS fans also, that big fans, but still they were feeling very hot and it was not effective because their roof was getting heated up. So once roof is heated up, so if we are exactly like not protecting ourselves from heat, so definitely we will feel hotter. So similarly, like with any industry or any of the built structure, when surface is getting heated up, so the indoors will definitely will be heated up, and the fan will also not circulate the cool air. So once the surface temperature is reduced, the fan also circulates the cool air. So with HVLS fans, with eco ventilators, it makes good sense to go for these reflective coatings. So like if we talk about the thermal insulation is beneficial when your premises is AC. You are having AC premises, then thermal insulation is beneficial. Otherwise, if you give thermal insulation in the non-AC premises, it will act like an oven, and it will not let indoor heat also dissipate outside. So that will not give you a very comfortable atmosphere for working. And in that cases, when non-AC premises is there, so these type of coating make the premises very thermally comfortable. And in AC premises also, these coating, if they are applied along with insulation also, then also it will reduce your energy cost because it will not let the heat generated. This is another case study wherein these coating when applied with bifacial solar cells, it increases the solar efficiency of 15 to 25%. So normally what happens, solar cells are efficiently working under optimum temperature, that is 35 to 38 degrees centigrade. So when your surface is not coated, so heat intensity is more in that area, and that exactly we feel that more sun is there, so more heat, more efficiency will be there. But it's not like that. If more sun is heat is there, the surface gets heated up and the atmosphere is having high intensity of heat. So after applying this coating, the intensity of heat is reduced, and that is why solar efficiency is increased. Secondly, this is exactly almost reducing your energy demand also because it is cooling indoors also. Third is like it reduces the degeneration of the solar cells also, because that is happening year by year because of the heat. And fourth is the radiation that is reflected back becomes the incident light for the solar cells, and thus it has been observed that these increases the efficiency of solar panels also. We have used, apart from building, we have used these in this type of tanks also. It can be applied on the containers also. Container offices also can be used, can use these coating. And this is this is the Asian plants that they have gone for lead rating and they have applied these coating. This is the Asian plant. And this is the Warangal Smart City. They have taken Cool Roof as their smart city project, and they have covered almost 1 lakh square feet of area by these type of coating. And Telangana itself now has released a policy where they have made these Cool Roof mandatory, and now they will be exactly covering a complete 11 kilometer of patch by these cool surfaces so that they can make an impact at the city level and reduce the city temperature. These coatings can be applied on any type of substrate. It can be profilec sheet, it can be flat roof, it can be concrete roof, it can be any type of roof. It can be applied. It can be applied on metal, it can be applied on cement sheet, it can be applied on corrugated sheet, slant roof, any type of roof it can be applied. Only the thing is at different substrate you have to consider the substrate preparation. The surface preparation is must. For example, if it is an old cement roof, so you are having algae and fungus in that, so that has to be removed, and at times chemically that has to be removed, and complete proper surface preparation, and then you have to apply these coatings. When we talk about the corroded roof, so the corrosion has to be removed first, it has to be dissolved and removed, and then these coatings have to be applied. So these things are very important, and this is a live example wherein this is the Almeria city in Spain, and they have done widespread installation of these school surfaces, and they have observed a reduction in the city temperature. Similarly, this is a city in Greece that is actually practicing this, and now exactly in Spain also there are other cities wherein they are just trying to adopt these school surfaces. The way exactly cool roof is beneficial, similarly cool wall paints are also beneficial. Only the challenge is we cannot have dark color walls. In this you can have pastel shade of colors to maintain the reflectivity. It gives as good benefit as the roof coatings. And similarly, when mass application is considered, the cycle tracks, school roads and pavements also can be done by these type of coating, the bridges and everything. So this is available in these four colors. And on the pavements and driveways, normally in industrial area, there are broad roads for trucks to come in. And in that case, the road exactly get heated up, and the wind exactly touching the road brings a lot of heat into the with it. So those roads exactly can be covered by these type of coatings, and it gives you cool surrounding air. This is the NASA document that I was telling, that after applying these type of coating on the roads, you can reduce the surrounding temperature also. So these, it's almost complete. So these coatings can be applied on any type of build structure, any type of functional unit. So it is just a exterior clothing for of your build structure, so that you can increase the life of the construction, you can reduce the expansion contraction of your build structure, and you can reduce the indoor temperature and thus AC consumption and thermal comfort. That is the biggest challenge, and reduce the city temperature also. So thank you. This is what I just wish to communicate, that before going for any other thermal insulation or any other treatment for energy efficiency, it's very important that we work at the source itself. So source of heat generation should be managed, so that heat is not generated, so that we have to work on the less ingress of the heat. So
Okay.
this, yeah, thank you.
Great, great. Thank you so much, Neetu ma'am, for this insightful journey. And unfortunately, Mohit sir couldn't connect today because there is some glitch in his area, and there's rainfall as well. Okay. So I means in meanwhile we have got some questions. Okay. As this is an interesting topic, and since childhood we have seen means colors and paints, Asian paints, or any paints that are available in India. But this is something means which is very uh, informative and advantages as well, wherein you could have a temperature of 50 degree instead of 70 degree, as you have shown in the presentation. Okay, so I've got a few questions here. So how do heat resistance, first question I'm taking, how do heat resistant coatings contribute to overall safety and performance of industrial equipment and structures?
So exactly, if we talk about the equipment, so like if it is HVAC system, so
Okay.
any cooling system exactly, and machineries at times, the MCP is being is मतलब बोलते हैं उसको कि वो MCP भी बहुत जल्दी खराब हो जाता है.
Okay.
So equipments की life के ऊपर it has very good impact. Like what, this is a vicious cycle we are creating. So presently what is happening is your roofs are getting heated up, your walls are getting heated up. Now your roof is emitting heat. Once it is emitting heat, now your AC is there. You are using AC. Now again, AC compressor is also releasing the heat. So because
Correct.
heat is there, AC will be requirement will be more, and more heat will be dissipated outside, will be emitted. Now again, this will go up. It will form a canopy of heat into the atmosphere. Okay, at the top surface. And now again, the heat will it will get into the city. So this is again adding heat load to the building. So this is the cycle that is being created. So, but when we apply this coating, so what is happening? Your roof is not getting heated up, heat is not emitted, AC requirement is reduced, your compressor will emit less heat. Okay, because your AC consumption is reduced, and now the compressor is not having that sort of load. At times, we have I was just talking to one of the fire and safety person, and in that exactly it was at times sprinklers also give false indication because of the increased heat. So we have done a lot of projects wherein like because of the false indication of the temperature, because the surface temperature is getting up to 80 degree, so false temperature actually gets sprinkled to burst out. So
Mhm.
false indication of temperature is there. Then like at times what happens is like your already machinery is releasing heat. Okay. And now that heat is not being dissipated outside because you have done insulation. Okay.
Correct.
And then your roof is also getting the अंदर से भी हीट जा रही है, बाहर बाहर से भी हीट आ रही है. So that
Yes,
is
correct.
impacting the performance of your equipments also. And like
Correct.
AC equipments like chillers and everything, we have had a lot of like incidences wherein like MCP and everything gets stopped down because of these things. They shut down. And one incident what he was telling is because of at times because of the increased load, and at times like when the cables are not like now exactly the cables are different, but if some old cables are there, they melt also because of this heat. And then like a short circuit is there and fire incidences are there. And at times your because of the increased load of electricity, fire incidences are also there. So this is the passive cooling system wherein you have to just like protect your building from getting heated up so that other things are in place.
Great. Great. Thank you, ma'am. So we have another question.
When winters are there, so what we are doing, we are exactly wearing the insulated clothes so that our inner gets cooled down. Okay, so similarly our build structures are getting heated up. So at the source itself the heat generation is reduced. These coatings are working in that way.
Okay, so we've got a follow-up question on this. I think you have already answered this. Still, I'll mention the question. What are the potential issues related to consideration and moisture management with cool roofs, especially in certain climates? I think you answered it
Yeah.
right,
So
as you
moisture
invited.
management is like, see, like normally like there's one study that these coating exactly gives water protection also. Okay. So when
Okay.
water protection is there, so the observation what I'm telling you, like when it is a concrete building or such like a thing, so it reduces the web formation of the spiders because the moisture is
Okay.
not there. So that
Correct.
sort of impact is there.
Okay. Okay. That's the thing. Okay. So how, as you know, in warehouses there are cold storages as well. Okay. So how are cool roofs beneficial for cold storage warehouses?
Definitely. See,
Temperature control.
yeah, temperature control and your insulation cost can be managed. Your the AC tonnage can be reduced, and if not tonnage reduced, but at least that running cost can be reduced, because this will directly exactly not let your surface get heated up. So it is the energy saving that is there.
Okay. Okay. So, does heat-resistant coatings address challenges related to corrosions and oxidation in high temperature environments?
Yes, yes. In that case, like what happens is like, but only the thing is that you have to use the right product system, because like presently what I have seen like at for just for the rating system to comply with the rating system, and the warehouses area is big. So what people do is they go with a very low cost product. So like when very
Mhm.
low cost product is there, so the material actually can cause corrosion for you. But
Okay.
if you identify the right system, the system that actually protects from any moisture ingress, so it will actually help to protect the corrosion also.
Okay. Okay. So, what is the likely project cost to install cool roofs on an existing warehouse? I mean, let's say it is 5,000 or 10,000 square feet area.
So exactly like if thumb rule if we apply, so like when it
Uh-huh.
is the sustainable, the complete system is being applied, sustainable system is being applied. So in
Uh-huh.
that case, like it is almost 30 to 35 rupees per square feet with installation and material all. And when we talk about the uh, conventional, the affordable one that actually consists only two coats, so it's
Mhm.
approximately 20 rupees per square feet with installation. But that as per the volume exactly the rates can be worked out.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are there any testing and certification standards that we follow in the country? Should one look for when evaluating the quality and
Yes.
effectiveness of heat resistant, as you have mentioned, and pressing on quality?
Yes,
So,
yes, it is very important. So, like, one is certification of the, but like what is happening is like presently we are getting certification of the SRI value. Okay,
okay,
so
yes,
SRI value can be observed for the affordable one also, for the sustainable one also. I think like one should consider the vendors who have reference site of years, like 8, 9 years also. So
no
that
problem.
having that sustainable tested site is more important, and the thorough knowledge of the system and the coatings is also important, because what happens is like, see, like the way exactly solar installations are there, so now exactly many solar contractors have come in. Okay, and at times they don't know the proper installation and everything, and like just because of the cost we are selecting the right contractors. So
Mhm.
similarly here also application is also very important. So, and the manufacturer is also the company from whom you are taking is very important, so you have to study that also, because
Correct.
it is a very common sense. Like, see, for example, at times people are bringing in with like just to compete, they're going at a 10 rupees rate or 11 rupees rate.
Exactly.
So what happens is, now just imagine, like, now raw material price is going high. Okay, so if I, and 3 to 4 rupees is there for the labor. So this is just a common sense, like what a person will give in 6 rupees or 7 rupees of cost. So in 6 and 7 rupees, you will not get, means the, if you take the right sort of reflectors, pigments, and fillers, so you cannot actually give a right quality to the matlab substrate, and you are
Customer.
compromised with their built-up structure. So that will definitely get corrosion after some time.
Correct, correct. So this is an easy go for any contractor in that manner, as you said, that once the paint is done, it is done. No is going to measure it. Only the people who are working over there is going to endure the heat.
Yeah, and another thing is, though Green Pro certification and Griha certification are there in place that
Mm,
you can
mm.
see, but then Griha and Green Pro again you have to get renewal for after 3 years. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
if you are going for conventional, so every 3 year affordable one, then every 3 years you have to apply, and the person who will be giving you sustainable performance and sustainable like complete system, he'll be giving you almost for warranty for 6 years and more, so you don't
Correct.
have to like renew or recoat again, like when you are going for renewal. So all these things can be considered.
Great, great, great. So, there's one more question on um the environmental effect of these colors. Like, the PU colors are not so environmental friendly.
Yeah.
So there's a question. With the increasing focus on sustainable solution, are there any development in eco-friendly or low VOC, that is volatile organic compound,
Yes.
heat
Yes.
resistant coatings?
Yeah, so these are exactly Green Pro certified, and these are zero VOC.
Okay.
Now again, it
Oh,
depends on the manufacturer. If I
correct.
talk about myself, low, so these
Mhm.
products are exactly zero VOC, and these are water-based products.
Okay.
So
Okay.
these doesn't have any VOC in it.
Okay.
So you can exactly take a test certificate from them of the VOC and all. So that is one of the things that you can do.
Okay. 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 So these were the questions, and I really appreciate the knowledge bank that you have gathered in so many years. You're such an expert that I was throwing questions, from varied field. Maybe we've got a member attendees from varied industries, and really appreciate, ma'am, all this
My only
the
one
way you answer.
is
Yeah.
to the warehousing people.
Uh-huh.
Since this
Please.
segment is developing very fast,
Correct.
like you have to consider two things. One is like you have to take care of your build structure. Don't compromise the life of your build structure by taking low cost materials and not having proper material. Another is like you are providing a very good thermal comfort to your surrounding atmosphere also when you're applying. See, lakhs of square meters are there. So that means you can contribute so much to the environment. If you're not
Correct.
cooling these your premises, so you are emitting the heat of almost 80 degree into the atmosphere, and you are compromising on the life and quality of life for your workers also. And if you apply these coating, so this is a one time coating that will be available for 10 years, and you can exactly protect your city temperature also. You can exactly add them for your sustainable goals also. You can take the in your compliance of ESG also, and you will be actually adding a lot of quality life for your labors who are your main pillars for working,
Correct.
and actually increase the product quality also and life, especially
Indeed.
the
Indeed.
religious people. Exactly, they can actually lot of benefit by these type of coating.
Indeed. Indeed, ma'am. Indeed. Thank you for this, and I thank all of the attendees and request everyone to fill the feedback form in the chat section. And unfortunately, Mohit sir couldn't join, or else our attendees would have more knowledge about the structures and the coating. We'll have his session next month in our next webinar. Okay, but yes, ma'am, thank you so much for
And
this session. Yeah,
you can
please.
share my mail ID to the visitors, and
Indeed, indeed,
any
willingly.
of the question, it's not that like any of the question related to
Correct.
UHI and the passive cooling system, I'll be
Yes,
happy to contribute.
definitely, definitely, ma'am, definitely.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you so
thank
much, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks. We are
Thank you.
signing off.